97.7 QLZ's Third String Morning Show.
He is the creator and director of the Sharknado franchise, which has just taken pop culture by storm. He is Anthony C. Ferrante. Anthony, welcome to the Third String Morning Show.
Yeah, well, thank you so much. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing right now? Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Los Angeles. I'm outside my home. The birds are about to take me out. They're tweeting. So either that's a sign that we're going to have a huge tweet storm on Twitter, or I won't be able to make it through this conversation with you.
Well, of course, good luck with that. Sharknado 5 Global Swarming, debuting on Sci-Fi this Sunday, 7 o'clock local time. Sharknado, obviously you created it. It's now 5 chapters deep. Did you have any idea it was going to be as big as it's been?
No, we never thought it would have blow up as big as it was. I think a couple weeks before it aired on Sci-Fi, the original, got together with a couple people I knew, and we watched the movie once all the visual effects were in. And I remember saying, maybe in about 5 years this could be a cult movie, and we probably made the greatest stoner movie ever made. And it kind of happened overnight. It just we knew it was fun. We knew it was ridiculous and crazy. You just never think that you're going to get mainstream to go gaga over it. I mean, there was no marketing on this first movie. It was just, here's a trailer, hey, it's going to be on. And we did a lot of social media. We did our own sort of grassroots approach, and people discovered us. And then that's more gratifying than anything. And, when you have millions of dollars to tell people to show up, but, you have fans, and it's not just genre fans. It's not people that like these movies. It's everybody. It's Mia Farrow. It's Damon Lindelof. People just showed up to see how ridiculous our movie was. That's why we're here 5 years later, and we're still, honoring that. We still pay lip service to the fans.
And you're talking about people showing up, people wanting to be a part of the project. Seems like each and every single installment in this franchise finds more and more celebrity names wanting to be a part of this. Yeah,
we have Fabio as the Pope, Charo as the Queen of England. Olivia Newton-John came out of retirement and did a role for us. It's great. Chris Kattan from Saturday Night Live plays the Prime Minister. He was hilarious. So we have a lot of great people in this movie. David Naughton from American Werewolf in London. I love the fact that we got him in the movie. Nichelle Nichols from Star Trek. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of great people in this movie.
How do you decide who is what? Like you just said, Fabio is the Pope. How do you put those pieces together?
Well, we were shooting it. We shot in 5 different countries for this movie. One of them was Italy, and we were there the day before we were shooting. I called the producers, going, "The Pope needs to be in this movie. Why don't we have the Pope? We're here in Italy. We need a Pope." They kind of agreed to let me do a Pope scene, but we didn't have anybody cast, so they got a Pope costume. I ended up doubling the Pope, not knowing who was going to play the Pope when we got back to America. And then we get back to America, and it's, Fabio's the Pope. And they're like, oh, wow, I just doubled Fabio. That's kind of awesome. So I not only got to play the Pope, but I could say that I was Fabio's double.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's just organic like that. You just come up with this stuff sometimes, and it just seems ridiculous. Like, for a moment, it's like Charo is the Queen of England, but then you go, well, Mark Cuban's our Sharknado president. So, anything's possible in the Sharknado universe.
And do you find yourself when you're directing, when you're writing and creating this, you got the idea like, that's good, but how can I make this even more over the top? Like, when do you finally say, okay, that's over the top enough?
Well, sometimes we'll have ideas and they get tabled, and then we come back to them. Like I think in the second movie, a friend of mine pitched an idea of a shark duck-in where you have a shark eating another shark. And eating another shark. And so in the fourth movie, we have a shark eating another shark with a whale eating the shark. And each one of those sharks had somebody that was eaten inside of it. So, I don't think there's any boundaries to how far we'll go. It's just a matter of, can we make it happen? One of the things I really wanted to do in this movie, we just didn't have a place for it, is I wanted to have an army of Tara Reid clones in the film going after a Sharknado. I just seemed like this just army of April, the character she plays, charging a Sharknado just would have been absolutely wonderful.
Would that be a Terranado though? A Terranado?
It would have been, yeah. It would have been a Terranado. It would have just been. It would have been delicious. I mean, it would just. When there's another movie, I'd love to see that kind of be revisited. So yeah, some things it's too ridiculous, but no, there's no too ridiculous. It's usually does it fit in the movie, and can we pull it off in the time that we have?
Can I suggest like a waffle or pancake-nado, because that does sound delicious as well.
Yeah, actually, that sounds actually really good right now. So maybe, I think I'm going to stop this interview and going to go to IHOP and get some waffles.
That's a good idea. Now I have to mention, only because she's in the news, I'm not trying to bring anything down here, but Tara gave an interview where she says that the extras of the day, these guest celebrities, are treated better than the actual stars on the movie itself. Any reply to Tara on this one?
Yeah, we're all in this together. We work our butts off, and we make these movies in 18 days. You bring the cameos in, they come and they shoot, and they're gone in like 2 hours. Tara and I, and we're family, and we work our butts off, and we work well together on these films. All that stuff, that's all interpretation, and that's Tara's interpretation. But I these movies are hard to begin with to make. We do these movies in 6 months. Mm-hmm. We start to finish.
Sure.
So it's a blur. I mean, it's 18 days, and we make it happen. I think Tara is fantastic, and at a certain point, sometimes the process and the grueling hours on these things can get crazy. But yeah, it is. I don't know. There's not much to say about it. It is what it is. It's just someone's opinion, and I love Tara to death. I think she does a fantastic job, and I've always been the champion of pushing her character of April into these crazy territories, that we've done with her. So.
And she has revealed that a little bit of the superhero world comes in and is introduced into Sharknado 5. We're talking with Anthony C. Ferrante, creative director of the Sharknado franchise, which also has very notable music. Can you tell us about that process?
Yeah, I have a band with Robbie Rist called Quint, and so since the first movie, we've been doing, we probably do like 3 or 4 songs per movie. We did the theme song Ballad of Sharknado, which is sort of like if the Ramones wrote a theme song for us, that's kind of probably the direction it would have went in. And so it's been kind of fun because each movie we get to do different types of styles. We just released Brand New You, which is a kind of a 1980s kind of Xanadu-y kind of single, and we did a sort of a punk song called Good Morning London that just came out as well. So we have fun with these things. We also have a song on the soundtrack album coming out in a couple weeks called Sharknado Rhapsody, global swarming version, which has my all-time favorite line, Armageddon, come and get it, the world ain't going to end unless I say so. So it's very appropriate for this movie.
Well, I know I'm looking forward to it. Sharknado 5 debuting on Sci-Fi this weekend. Any chance for crossovers in the future? Sharknado versus Godzilla? I don't know. Like, is there any crossover possibility?
Well, look, this movie, we have Sharkzilla. I think we're our own crossover because we kind of marry so many different genres. This movie, we're doing Indiana Jones-like stuff and James Bondy and things. So I think our world is sort of a pop culture world where anything can kind of come in and we kind of put it in our blender and make it our own. So I think if you did Sharknado versus Transformers, I don't think it would have the same charm as if we had a shark turn into a robot, or a shark turn into a car. That would be more interesting.
There is possibilities there. Last question, then to let you go. No, you got the media rounds to make. How long is Sharknado going to live for?
As long as people watch it, they show up, and the ratings are there. Sci-Fi greenlights it. It's the Super Bowl of sci-fi. People get together, have parties, families, kids, friends, and they live tweet, and they just have a ridiculously fun time. It's free. You don't have to go to a movie theater and drop $60 just for one movie. Mm-hmm. So I think this thing can last a long time as long as we keep having crazy ideas, and as long as our core leads come back. I mean, Ian and Tara are the heart of the movie. Name a franchise where 5 movies in and you still have your top 2 leads, and you have the same director. There's a consistency, and I think that keeps these movies fresh, and it also keeps them on target for the fans because they're we know what works and what doesn't work, and I think that's a nice part about the franchise.
I love it. If people want to comment on Sharknado, if they want to share their love with you, where can they find you online? AC
Ferrante on Twitter, ACFERRANTE. Our band is Quint, The Band. That's at Twitter. We also have an Instagram account, Anthony C. Ferrante on Instagram. And, yes, and then you'll see us all on Sunday night with Global Swarming.
Anything that rocks. 97.7 QLZ.